Hey, it's Coach Goody. This video that I'm doing will be on how to get coaches started right and then duplicate it to your team members. This was one of the biggest struggles that I had along my coaching journey. It was coming up with a system that would get coaches started right and also be able to duplicate to your other team members. Teams are built when you have a simple system. Everything we do must be easy and simple. This is what will allow your team to really grow. And I've learned the hard way through my coaching career that if you don't duplicate your efforts and create leaders, you'll wind up with a stressful job. And I know nobody signed up for that. So I created a 4-step simple process that gets coaches started right. And I'm going to go over everything that I say and use. Plus, I will post the outline and the links in the videos I use below. Before I even get started on step one, I make sure my new coach is actually on my team. I go to the back office and make sure they show up. It should take no longer than 24 hours, and you only have 72 hours to fix this problem. So make sure you're on top of this, or they might end up on another coach's team. So let's start with step one, welcoming them to your team. I welcome my new coach to my coaching page, and this is such an important step because you want them to feel welcomed. So I add them to my team page and I post a picture. I have a banner made up. I have my own personal banner made up with my team name, and I put the picture in there, but some people like to use PickMonkey, www.pickmonkey.com, and then I make a picture of them, then you tag them, and then you give a little welcome. And kind of like she's like Steven's a father of 3, and he just completed P90X and wants to pay it forward to help others. Then at the end of each post, I say, Steven, feel free to ask any questions in this group. When you get a chance, please introduce yourself to the team and tell us your 3 W's. Now, the 3 W's are who you are, why you joined as a coach, and what you hope to accomplish. Then I send them a message about the group so they actually know they're in there. And then I have them turn on their notifications so they get notifications about what's going on in the group. Then I move to step number 2. I send a welcome email to them, and I will post my example of my welcome email below. So the first thing I do is like kind of an intro. I do another little welcome, and I let them know that everyone started on day 1 just like you, so you might be overwhelmed, but everyone started that way too. So I kind of make sure they know that. And then I send them an About Me form, and I will post that About Me form below also that I use. The About Me asks them some questions about themselves, and I have them email it back to me. And there's 2 reasons why I do this. Number 1, I want to learn more about my new coach. And then on the Getting Started Right call we have, I can talk more about those things that they wrote about on their About Me form. And the most important part of this is building, in this business, is building relationships. So number 2 is my time is valuable. So I want to see if they're actually going to take the time and email me back. Otherwise, I will not set up a Getting Started Right call until they do that. Now, the next thing on the welcome email, I have the links to their store so they know where they could, if they want to give out their link, where people could come and order stuff from them. And I post the video on how they can set up their profile and website. Next, on the welcome email, I have a link. So I have a link so they can print out the Business Quick Start, or I let them know that to have it up on their computer when we talk, and that's what I use for my Getting Started Right call. Then I give them action steps. I say, number 1, fill out the About Me form and email it back to me. Number 2, print out the Business Quick Start you need for our call. And number 3, we need to set up a Getting Started Right call. What days and times are best for you? And then I could see if what works for me, and we can pick a time. The call will be around 30 minutes, so make sure you have no distractions. Then I wait for the About Me form so I can set up that GSR with them. So let's say they bring it to me, I get the About Me form, then we move to the Getting Started Right call. One tip about a getting started right call I want to give you. Some people will be scared about doing a GSR because they think they'll mess it up. Just remember, you know 100% more than your prospect knows about this business. So if you follow the 4 simple steps, do the GSR, follow what I have in the GSR, and you do it with conviction, they will buy into what you're saying. Um, I try and keep the GSR to 30 minutes, and I only use the blue section of the business quick start. So page 1 and then the why on page 2. I do not want to overwhelm my new coach because they're already overwhelmed enough. So the first thing I talk about is I take a few highlights from their About Me form and I kind of talk to them about it. Some will be about them, some will be about their family, some will be about fitness, their goals, and some will be about their business goals. Then next I remind them we all started at day 1. We are all overwhelmed, but let them know that I'm here for them to guide them and lead them through the journey. Then I go over the business quick start, and I will post that business quick start below too so you know what I'm talking about. Number 1, know your information. Knowing your information is, your coaching websites, your coaching ID. Then I move to number 2 is get and stay connected, and that's social media stuff and when the national wake-up call is. Number 3 will be setting up their business, a couple videos to help them set up their business. And then number 4, I start to go in, I create an action plan. And I make this simple for them. I don't use, the action plan is, I don't want, you're telling them their first goals. Your first goals are going to be reaching Emerald rank. And I explain a little bit about what Emerald rank is. And I also say the other goal is getting 3 new customers so your Shakeology is paid for. And then I show them how we're going to do that. We're going to do this by approach this 2 ways. Number 1 is by making a list of 100 people and reconnecting with people. And number 2 is making a Facebook post to announce you're a coach. And so then I'll tell them how we're going to identify people. I'll tell them to start connecting with people. Number 5 is identifying people to help. I'll tell them to start connecting with people and adding people to their network. And don't bring up anything about Beachbody unless the other person asks. You're just trying to build relationships. And please do not start vomiting Beachbody all over your Facebook wall or all over social media and post links all over Facebook. That's an absolute no-no. So I go over that. Then I talk about the coaching basics training, and I let them know about that. That's number 6, engage in your training. And I talk about the coaching basics, and I say there's 2 reasons why the coaching basics is so important and why you need to complete every lesson. I say number one, every lesson in the coaching basics will help you learn something that will move your business forward. And then I say number 2 is, if you don't do the coaching basics, why in the world would your new coach do it or want to do it if you're not doing it? So I make sure that they know how important it is. Next, I go over how I talk about how important it is to be at the live events, and I talk about Super Saturday. I talk about Summit. Then the next thing I go in is I talk about the 3 vital behaviors and how important the 3 vital behaviors are to invite or reconnect, be proof the product works, and personal development. And I also tell them there's a 4th vital behavior. It's really not on there, but I say you got to be here in 1 year. You got to commit to work in this business for 1 year. And then we go over their why of this business. Then I let them know something else that's not actually on that's not actually on here, but I let them know my availability, and I tell them that I have a full-time job and I have a family, and if they message me, I will always get back to them during my business hours, but they can always ask a question on the team page. Then I close my Getting Started Right call with asking them if they have any questions I can answer. And that's all I do for my Getting Started Right call. So then step number 4 is I make sure they get into the coaching basics when they start. Our coaching basics is a 6-week coaching basics, and we start a new one the first Wednesday of every month. So that's the 4 steps. This is what I do, and it works. It's a simple system that can be duplicated by anyone. Again, these are my 4 steps, and 4 steps I follow, and how I get my coaches started right. But you could use these 4 steps and do it however you want. You could use my stuff. You could don't have to use my stuff, but it has to be something your whole team could duplicate. So just a recap: number 1, welcome them to your team. Number 2, send them a welcome email with the About Me form. Number 3, wait for the About Me form, then have a getting started right with call with the business quick start. Number 4, get them in a coaching basics. I hope this helps get you with your getting your new coaches started right.